Hi everyone, this is Vassily Ivanchuk against Viswanathan Anand, which took place in the Linares tournament of 1992 and was a very instructive game from Anand, as you'll see. It started out with a Sicilian defense. I'm just going to go through the opening quickly here to get to the position that I want to talk about. This is all pretty standard stuff anyway. Typical Sicilian type of game, both sides starting their pawn storms, and here Anand played rook b8, and what Ivanchuk went for here was simplification that should lead to his advantage. After knight d5, then came queen takes d2, knight takes f6 check, and here Anand played g takes f6, which was unexpected, and Ivanchuk apparently hadn't considered this recapture. Normal would be bishop takes f6 and then rook takes d2, king e7, and after h4 white would probably be better, but Anand has a couple of ideas in mind. G takes f6, as you'll see as the game progresses. After rook takes d2 he played h5, and here Anand commented in his notes to the game, "At first glance white is better, or at least not worse, in view of black's damaged pawn structure. However, white is actually seriously worse. If white could consolidate his kingside pawn structure with h3, then he would indeed be better, but just at the moment this is impossible. And the reason that it's impossible is if he plays h3 now, then comes h takes g4, f takes g4, and bishop takes g4, he's lost a pawn. If he recaptures if he takes the bishop here, then the rook's falling. So you can't do that. And another critical variation is bishop e2. Anand analysed the game thoroughly afterwards, and even after h takes g4, f takes g4, rook h3, he said that black is better in every continuation, and I think we can trust this judgment. So it's just interesting. It's only 19 or so moves into the game and black already has an advantage. So anyway, h5 and rook g1, then came h takes g4, f takes g4, and the incredible looking move bishop c4, because this is black's good bishop. This bishop is hemmed in here behind the pawns, and the central pawns where most of the action is are all on dark squares, so this light square bishop's an important piece, and if it comes off then black will have bad weaknesses on d5 and f5. And here Ivanchuk didn't take the bishop, but he played b3, and the reason that the bishop has moved to c4 is to stop h3 from being played, because if it is played now, then bishop takes f1, rook takes f1, and rook takes h3, wins a pawn. So b3, and after bishop takes f1, rook takes f1, came rook h3, and the rook here on h3 is very disruptive for white, and Bishi has got a brilliant plan here. It's basically to exchange his d pawn for white's e pawn, and after that exchange has taken place, exchanges f pawn for white's g pawn, which is going to give him connected central pass pawns. And so it seems that all of the old positional rules of chess, like keeping your good bishop on the board and not creating holes in your defense, which should be a serious weakness, have been suspended. And it just shows great vision from Bishi with g takes f6 and bishop to c4, and most people just simply wouldn't consider these moves purely on principle. They don't want the double pawns for a start, and they don't want to lose their good bishop. But what it shows more than anything else is the importance of playing the position and not simply sticking to the dogmatic rules that you so often read about in books about chess and theory and strategy and what you will. And Anand's insight about the passed pawns is correct and leads to a winning game, although these pawns don't appear until 12 moves later. So play continued with rook e2, which isn't the strongest move. Bishop g1 is better, but even after king d7, rook d3, rook h4, black is still better in every variation, but he's even more better in the game. After rook e2, he plays king d7, and then came g5, which on the surface it looks like a questionable move because it helps black achieve his passed pawns in the center, but it could have been forced anyway with rook g8, so it's neither here nor there. And then came king e6, g takes f6, bishop takes f6. You know, although this is a bad bishop, it's going to protect these pawns in the center, and it's doing a good job, more than this bishop is doing. It's going to shuffle around now a lot, and Ivanchuk's reorganization of his pieces really takes a bit too long and allows d5 to be played. And after e takes d5, king takes d5, now the central pass pawns have emerged, and Ivanchuk played rook f5, and after king c6, rook ef2, which Anand pointed out after the game wasn't as strong as rook f3, because after rook h7, rook c3 check, king b7, it's going to be difficult for black, even though he has these connected pass pawns. It's going to be a difficult task to march them up the board. The king is going to be stuck in here now with the rook here, and this pawn is backward, so it could become a problem, and it's going to be much harder. Although black probably would still win, it's just much more difficult than as it happened in the game with rook ef2. And the rest of the game really is about getting ready to push these pawns, and Vishy gets his pieces into the best squares possible before doing so. Went rook h6, king b2, king d7, rook e2, bishop d6, rook f3, rook c8, bishop e1, king e6, rook d3, rook h7, rook g3, bishop c5, king a2, rook d7, rook c3, rook on c to c7, h4, and Ivanchuk is trying to get some counterplay with his own pass pawn, and then rook d1, bishop f2, bishop d6, rook g3, and e4. So after going to all that trouble to get his connected pass pawns, he gives one of them up, but the reason he does so is because it wins the exchange. After rook takes e4 check and bishop e5, there's mating threats on a1, and in order to stop that, Ivanchuk basically has to give up the exchange. If he plays, for example, c3 and rook d2 check, king b1, rook takes f2 wins the bishop. So here he's forced to play rook takes e5 check, and after f takes e5, it's all over for white. Try king b2, but after rook d2, this pawn is falling. If the rook comes over here, then rook takes, king takes, and this bishop is falling. So it's all over, and a very instructive game from Anand, who, like I said, broke all of the old positional rules and still won the game. So I guess the lesson that we can take from that is to play the position and not just stick to dogma. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave any comments or thoughts. Thanks very much.